we want to interview a sister here in relationship to this idea of locking up children in big people place. And we have a little sister who, where we call it, commit suicide. It's all a part of the same thing where we are talking about from the beginning. Where what is happening? What is happening? Because in all of the ideas of so much church, it's like the thing I get worse. The more church is, the more terrible the thing get. See it? And people come with old ways to solve new problems. We have to create new ways to solve these problems that our grandparents never know about, and even our fathers and mothers never know of these problems. We have to go deep into psyche and consciousness. See it? We have to study history and learn by history. Marcus Garvey said people without a knowledge of them history is like a tree without root. And most of the time we don't know our history. We start where the branch pick with the fruit and don't realize that sometimes if it don't have no root, it's a rotten fruit you're gonna get. So we see in this society where children is at the mercy of big people in a lack of way. It's supposed to be illegal in Jamaica to do that. You understand? It's supposed to be illegal. We don't know how we see we hear the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister or the Prime Mistress, she loves people. She claims she loves people. I not doubt it. But you have certain things where she's supposed to come down upon where me not really hear she come down upon it, and it make a difference when she come down upon it. Believe you me. It make a total difference. When the Prime Minister says something, it make a total difference from if she don't say something. You understand? It's not like me. If me not say something, sometimes it don't make no difference. But if you say something, it make a whole heap of difference as the Prime Minister. So we are saying, a little girl commit suicide. And over the time when I hear all of these things, people are clamor out for a revamping of the whole system. We create a jailhouse, or we have to call it jailhouse, where you have little girls and boys get locked up with big bosun tone man them we do some serious crime. You understand? And how we deal with that is very important. Okay, so them say the hour between 3 and 4 brought to you by Campari, bitter, better, sweeter. Is lady up on the phone? No? We're not up on the phone yet. All right. Yes. We promise you that we're going to take some calls about this situation or we just bring up on the radio where it appears that it scares a whole heap of people. Well, it's demons we are talking about, it must scare you. If we are talking about demons, it must scare you. Trust me, man. A whole heap of people don't like hear about these things, but we have something connected to that we talk about too. She not there on the phone yet, No, come up here so yet at all. All right. We are waiting for this lady. But if you are talking about demons, it scare people, especially in the bright day. But, say Dracula overcome dating now. Yes, Dracula now are walking at the day. You just want to look on the street and you see it. You have some Draculas there, believe you me, vampires. You ever hear Peter Tasha sing about, no, vampire. No, we can't separate the vampires from the vampires. There was a time when you could have separated we from them, but now we become them, and them are ball out said them are we. What a terrible thing. You're an artist that sing about them. Yeah, the politician them. But right now, find say the politician and the artist them are do the same thing them, I oppress the people them. Whether psychologically or physically. The artists in Jamaica and the politician in Jamaica and the preacher in Jamaica, I am declaring that they are oppressing the people. And we are talking about the majority of artists now. We're not talking about the minority now. Just like how me no think say is the minority of police are bad people. Me think say most police terrible. Me no think say it's a minority. So when I say the artist, the politician and the preacher in my book now as oppressing the people. Una oppress the people, Rasta. Una cause devastation in the hearts and the minds of the people. And when you don't make a record and I go and like say, una do something different, una not doing nothing different. Una fight against life. Most of una, most. Just like the politician them, just like the preacher them. Okay. Good afternoon, Miss Sobers.
Good afternoon, Muta.
How are you, dear?
Well, you know, I am personally fine.
You're a person. I must tell the people. Should I bust out a secret?
Go on.
All right. I must bust out a secret. This lady that I'm speaking to is one of the party animals. When you go to a session and you want the session to start swing, when people don't want to dance, just call me Sobers and dance with her. And trust me, the whole floor pack up. Trust me, man.
What a recommendation.
No, it's true. True. I don't want a woman of age. And I say it's an older man, but a woman of age. Believe you me, man. Trust me, Muda go with you every night.
Thank you, Muda. What do you say, Muda? In our culture, is the older women who dance.
Yes.
And them who know the step, you know what I say?
Well, I'm like, no, me I tell you, every session me go, whether it's a soul session, disco session, or African session, all you want, the party start swing, man, must make me Sobers there.
Oh, my.
But within the levels of Miss Sobers now, she have a serious, she take upon herself a very serious thing here, which is citizens' rights.
Yes.
And how we view and how we treat, especially young people in this society. And right now we have a situation, you know, we have 9-day wonders.
Yes.
The problem with Jamaica is that the reason why I think I stay 9 days, you know, because after 9 days something worse happened than the 9 before.
Yes.
So it's like you forget the 9 there.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so but this one here is really something else.
Yes.
I mean, a little girl, how much year old she's again?
Eh?
Or how old she's again?
She is she was 16 years old.
Okay. How long she there in the remand center there?
She was at Horizon since the start of this year.
Wow.
And before that, she was at Fort Augusta since coming maybe the second half of last year. Before that, she was released. Because if you go to her history, she starts out at about 12, 13, when the court said that she's uncontrollable, and they sent her to Armadale.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if she was in the room or was she was certain in the home when the terrible fire took place.
Yes.
Where the 7 girls
dead.
Died. And it's 23 of them locked up in a room meant for 5.
But that not resolved yet.
Well, you know, because, we had inquiry, but, you know, you have recommendations.
Yes.
And, I mean, one of the recommendations was to evaluate everybody, all of the survivors.
Yes.
Give them a psychological evaluation. The other thing was not to lock up troubled children with children convicted of crime.
Yes, yes.
Well, it looked like nobody don't pay too much mind as far as we can see. So as I said, so she went Armadale, then she went after the fire, she went to Stony Hill, whatever, Prue School, whatever. Then she was released. Then she ran away again.
Okay.
And that is when she was sent to Fort Augusta.
Yes.
And
prison, that a prison itself. That a prison itself.
That to prison.
Yes.
And the thing is this, that if somebody is running away, they are running away from something. So you have to find out what it is.
Yes. You have to do a psychological evaluation. Yeah. So them not have them thing there. Them not have them thing there in them places.
Well,
psychological evaluation.
No, because it's only last year that about last summer that she started to talk about what had happened to her. And that is that she was sexually molested as a young, 12, 13, around there, so.
By who? Father?
No, not father. Somebody who lived on her apartment complex.
Okay.
And the person tell her if she talk, he's going to kill her parents.
Oh, yeah?
So, since she couldn't talk, she decided to run away. No, I just want to say, Muta, that we come out of a slavery situation. Now, can you remember how children were treated in those times?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You see. So that in those times, children were, of course, they were raised to be property. And property doesn't have rights. So, sending them away from them parents was the norm. And whoever had more power could molest whoever wanted to molest without anything happening.
And they move the children them from one household to the next household to the next household.
With no consideration for the child.
Yeah.
And there was no thought that the child could even have a mind of its own, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
And that there could be damage. So my thing is, Muta, that I'm not sure how much we have changed in
from them slavery
300 years in terms of approach to our children.
But Ms. Sobers, we have a government that's supposed to look about the interests of the people. So how we make governments after governments come and it's still at the same level of slavery days. Like for instance, and I put no blame on your organization, but for instance, an organization like yours now, and human rights organization, all the talking don't yield no result for so long.
That is a question I ask myself because it's not for want of talking. I don't know whether it's a situation where you ever know you have your picnic and you talk and then stop listening. I don't know whether it's that we talk and people stop listening, or whether it is that people really don't have any respect for their own rights, much less the rights of others. Because when we talk, people call us criminal rights people. And them call us that all the way until the day you get a call from that person.
Yeah.
Because that day that person realizes
that
the injustice that can happen.
Yes.
Because something happened to them on their doorstep.
Yes.
No, I know us to be a bright people. So I don't see why we have to wait till it happens right to us before we realize that it is damaging and we don't want it happen to nobody.
All right. So the ministry that's responsible for these things, what have they said so far in relationship to this?
Well, it's that because I am waiting to hear from the Prime Minister. I'm waiting to hear more from I'm waiting to hear from the Minister of Justice. I was going to say more and differently from the Minister of National Security because I heard him on Cliff Hughes' program and he sounded as if he was trying to justify putting young people in adult prison.
What him say?
Well, he said that, you go and there is no mixing, so them can't mix. So it's almost like, it's okay then. And furthermore, when he was on Cliff Hughes' program and he was being questioned, he said he referred to what was happening as the media's pet peeve of the week. No, I don't mind telling you, I have a lot of problem with that.
Of course, definitely.
See? I understand, sometimes people get under pressure and their mouth slip. But sometimes when people mouth slip, it slips to what we really believe.
Yes.
So that I need to hear from Minister Lisa Hanna. I'm not hearing anything precise from her. But I sit today where, because Father Ramkisoon has offered to house the girls, that Minister Lisa Hanna said she will talk with him. But I would have needed to have heard from her of herself about this.
But this supposed to be is a whole. It's not just. I mean, this is like the center right now. This little girl here who comes to the center.
Yes.
But it's a thing where right across the board.
Yes.
You know, exactly. I mean, when you hold a little youth on the road and throw him for herbs, and you throw him in a cell with a so-called alleged murderer and all them things. So it's a thing right across the board we need to address.
Exactly. We need to address the whole business of youth and the justice system.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because, I mean, you put a child into Fort Augusta or Horizon.
Yes.
The child never commit any crime. The child is what they call uncontrollable.
Yes.
No, the other night, a psychologist explained to me when they say uncontrollable, what is usually meant here.
Mm-hmm.
What he told me is usually meant is that the child is having sex.
Oh, so wait, so let me ask you a question now. The little girl who box the judge. You know that little girl there? You know about that?
Yes.
That's not uncontrollable.
No, that is what we think of as uncontrollable.
And that we call uncontrollable.
Back answer in your yard, those things.
Yeah.
But what he said, mostly when it comes up,
it's sex.
This is what is meant, that the child is having sex. And so therefore, I suppose that the thing that, because it's a judge that usually sends the child to these places.
Yes.
So I suppose that in order to prevent, I don't want to make light of it, okay?
No, I don't light. That dark, I don't light.
But may I say, clearly in order to prevent young people from having sex, the thing to do is to lock them up with prisoner.
Yeah.
You see? No, you would
like the prisoner them know I have sex.
Eh?
Like the prisoner them know I have sex.
Like the prisoner know I have sex. So here is what I say now. Let us say that children are having sex.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I all of your listeners will know that nobody in this generation, the previous one or the one before that, invented that.
Yeah.
That has been going on. How you deal with it is, one, first of all, talk to the children them about sex.
All right. Hold on, Miss Sobers. We're talking to Miss Sobers about a serious issue here with young people who get locked up with adults in correctional places, and it come up to bump the other day when a young lady committed suicide. Serious thing. So, Miss Sobers.
Yes.
All right. So we're with you again, yes or no?
Right. Right. So where I was last time, I'm saying now that even if we look on the term uncontrollable, okay, we need to break it down and see what it is about, what is the problem that either the child, the parent, or somebody is having that makes them out of control, whatever that means, and solve that problem. Now, I don't have any of those problems that can be solved by locking up a child.
All right, so you're against locking up the child. What?
I am against locking up the child, particularly if the child had not committed any crime. I mean, even when a child has committed a crime, I think that it is important to have some kind of psychological evaluation.
Well, I agree with the psychological evaluation, but all right, you have a place named St. Mary Home there. I don't know if you know about St. Mary's Home.
Not well.
Well, all right, it's a place where take sisters who's young girls who get pregnant before a certain time, them get pregnant. And what them do, them have the sisters them inside of that place. It's a lock-up, but it's not a lock-up, really. Because them have the baby them in there and them treat them and them thing there. Something like that is desirable to me, really. Yes. It's not like a jail, where you have wires and, them thing they are going. But it's like a home where the child still feel like they are home, but it's a place where our peers are.
Well, you see, here's what various studies have shown. they're shown that the child is best off with their parents. Mm-hmm. Even when the parents would be considered maybe bad parents, mm-hmm. you need to help the parents, but the child is best off in that home where the parents are. Mm-hmm. Now, if the child, for various reasons, cannot be there and needs to be moved, the next step is to move the child to a relative's home. You know, auntie, granny, cousin, so-and-so, right? Mm-hmm. To a relative's home. So the child still has a sense of family. Mm-hmm. The next best after that, if you can't do those two, is to place a child in a foster home. But bear in mind, these are all homes that look like homes.
Yeah, it's like St. Mary's place I tell you about. It's a home, you know, with our peers there. You know.
Right. Yeah. No, the worst thing is to put the child into a state institution. Yes. That don't have any resemblance to a home. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
A lot of them are called that, but they don't resemble
a home, yes.
A home.
Yes.
A home. Now, when you put a child in a state institution, then just by doing that, you have created a level of psychological damage that might never get the child out of that place. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, which not know, you know, put them in a place like that. But you also put them in a place like that with hardened criminals.
No.
With them is not criminal.
This is where we're going now. What we're doing now does not even come out as worse. If you see what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. What we're doing now comes out as, to me, torture.
Yes, yeah.
You see? Yeah. That is torture of the child. And this now is what this little girl, by taking her own life, said, look, I am tired of the torture. And if we go back again, make it take us back few hundred years. You know that our people used to run away in different ways.
Yes.
Yes, they would run, try get to the mountains. But some of us would find ways to take our own life.
Yes. Even when we come across on the boat, only for the mothers them throw themselves and them
throw themselves. You right, because you know the Atlantic.
Yes.
They cross in the Middle Passage.
Yes.
A poet, his name will come back to me in a minute, spoke of that Middle Passage as a railroad of bones.
Bones, yes. Yeah,
see?
yeah.
Because rather than put up with things that we can't take anymore, then we take our own lives. We jump overboard.
Yes. Better to die a free person than to live as a slave.
Yeah. So this is what. So I mean, my issue now is, yes, it's about Vanessa. But Vanessa, if I put it in a certain way, Vanessa found her escape.
Yes.
See?
Yeah.
Now, there are many young people, and I said today, at least about 20, I think 20 more at Horizon, and about 17 more at Fort Augusta. Then, what I heard from the Commissioner of Corrections and the Minister of National Security is, rather than say no more of our children lock up in these places where adults are, they are saying that they're going to put on a special wing for the girls when they move the women from Fort Augusta to Camp Road. They're going to put on a special wing. And I mean, when they say it, it sounds like they think it's something good.
Them change, them put the more change, the more it stay the same.
And it's not today that various people, local, overseas, Human Rights Watch, Rapporteur on Torture, Amnesty, everybody has been saying, you are not to lock up children with adults. Around the end of November, Minister of Youth, Lisa Hanna, was saying the same thing.
But no, she's part of the system.
Before that, after some, I think it was after Armadale fire, that the then Prime Minister Golden was swearing the same thing.
Yes.
No more children going to be locked up with adults.
And them still have them in there. And the government change and them still have them in there.
Because you see, these children are not quote-unquote decent people picnic, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because decent people picnic could never be locked up.
Never been there, so definitely not.
Okay?
Yeah.
But since it's just whatever, however you look on it, but people who don't count as people. So, Muta, you know, that is a basic thing we have to start doing, to count each other as people.
Well, you know, I have seen say, it sounds like something would I like get involved with, you know. Believe you me, it sounds like something would I like get involved with because, I mean, it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing for you to lock up them little children there.
Of course.
You know, some big man. And you have to the evaluation now.
Exactly.
The evaluation is a part of the main part of it. The psychological evaluation is the main element of the whole thing.
Because even then, you know, there is another document from the United Nations from about 1990 that says if you have to lock up a child who has been convicted of a crime, you have to look at all of these criteria.
Yes.
The child mental state, physical state, the needs, the everything.
Yeah.
Before you just pick up the child and just lock them up.
Yeah.
You see? You know, so I mean, Muta is something that came to my heart.
Well, as me I say now, you have to just continue to do what you do. Me like what you do still, you know. Me like.
Yeah, Muta, thank you. I mean, thank you for always being there as a support.
Yeah, man.
Whether me there in this walk or whether me a dance and give me music.
Yeah, man. I want you to keep me abreast of where I'm going because I'm going to shout it out to me. I'm going to load up my mouth on it, you know.
Please. And I feel free to call me from time to time.
Yeah, give thanks, mama.
Yeah, man, and thank you.
Yes. Serious thing going on in Jamaica. We keep doing the same thing the same way all the while and expect to get a different result. That was Ivan McCullough, Sobers, the human rights activist, talking about the whole thing of children being locked up. That is the first thing. They lock up, no matter where. But, you know, I mean, children don't forget lock up, Rasta. Believe you me. I mean, even a little girl, you know, whether they call delinquent, but you need some evaluation. And that's the first step to solving the problem, you know. When you're old, one of them little youth there, you have a psychological evaluation to find out what is the problem, why them behave that way, why them continue to behave these ways. Well, hear me Sobers talk about sexual abuse and all these things, but if put her in our next place does not solve the psychological effect where the sexual abuse have upon her. And there's a whole heap of youth that walk around the place that was sexually abused in them house, in them community. And when they are reported, when them start to go earwire and do certain things, that is what we call antisocial behavior, you lock them up without coming to grips with the environment that produce this antisocial behavior. So we need to deal with these things. The stepping razor, the art of war. Come on, give thanks.
Yeah, man, we're there. We want to touch one though. The case of the girl hung herself.
Yes.
And also when Lisa they coming up power, she did bring like a light to the children them were placed in them kind of institution.
Well, at that Sobers McCullough did say, she just said Lisa Anna did say certain things and no. We don't say nothing now go on still.
Them not shed no light on it, a blind eye turn to it.
Yeah, so we don't know.
Boy.
Politics as usual.
Yeah, as usual. And go on to the good work, Muta. I like it. Not tell you not lie. Not tell you no lie at all.
Well, me know why I tell you no lie. Give thanks. Hey, Bridget, give me thanks.
Yes, my boss. Big up.